friendlies, I'm Carolyn. Welcome back to my life, living in an RV. Today's just going to be a casual kind of shoot the bull session with you guys. I've been kind of throwing out some things here and there about the future of my life, and so I've been leaving you guys hanging, I think, on a few subjects, so I thought I would cover those today in just a casual little chat session. This might be repetitive. Some of you watch every single one of my videos, but I did a survey recently. Most people don't watch all my videos, and so that means that when I throw things out there, like I'm not going to repair my generator because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be living in an RV, that catches some people off guard, and they're kind of surprised to hear that. So I'm going to cover that today. I'm going to cover another question about my generator. A lot of people don't know what I'm using for a generator. So I'm going to answer questions about my future, about, you know, whether I'm looking for land, and about my generator issue. So let's start with the generator. Many of you who do watch all my videos would probably remember that just a little while ago in Syracuse, I went to an Onan service and repair center to get it diagnosed by them to find out what was wrong with it. If you remember, it pretty much has not worked since I bought the RV. I think it worked for like a week. Last year, I took it to a small engine repair, invested $500, put a new carburetor in, and did a service on it and all of this, and it worked for a little while, and then it stopped working again. He couldn't figure out what it was, and he suggested taking it to an Onan certified dealer, which I did, and they spent some time troubleshooting it. They came back with an estimate of $2,600 to fix it, $4,100 to replace it. I decided it wasn't worth it. I don't want to put that kind of money into a generator. So a lot of you are asking, well, what are you doing for a generator? And I have talked about this several times. I've done videos about it. I use a portable Energizer 2,000 watt generator. It's what I've been using for years, and it works for most of the things that I need a generator for. I have a total of 360 watts of solar when I'm getting enough sun, which has been a challenge in my travels this year. But when I'm getting enough sun, that's usually more than enough. In the winter, I do have to use the generator more often because of the furnace and the short days. So the 2,000 watt portable Energizer has been really good, but it's not as convenient as having a built-in onboard generator, and here's why. I have to go outside if I want to turn it on or off. That means sometimes going out in the dark. Yeah, sometimes going out in the dark and having to turn it off in the middle of the night, which is fine, but I mostly worry about like critters. You know, is there like going to be a bear out there, or I'm going to catch a mountain lion off guard? There's that. If it's raining, I have to cover it with a tarp, which you can get electrocuted. Did you know that? You can get electrocuted by your generator. So I have to cover it up in the rain, which has not been a problem this year, but it can be a little problem when there's no trees to tie a tarp to. I usually tie it to the back of my rig. I have found a way to make that work. And it can be a little heavy getting in and out of the basement. It takes up storage room in my basement that could be used for like a better floor jack and things like that. So there are definitely some disadvantages to having a portable generator, but the biggest advantage is the generator itself costs $500. So I could buy 5 of those generators for the amount that it'll cost to maybe fix the Onan, and it's just not worth it. It's super, super good on gas. I've been here about 8 days. It was full of gas. It takes about a gallon of gas, and my gas can is 2 gallons, and I think I still have about a gallon of gas left, and I run it probably 3-4 hours a day or longer right now because the days are short. I'm not getting a lot of sun. I'm not getting a lot of sun at all. It's been cloudy and all kinds of things. So it's definitely a great backup to spending all that money to get my Onan fixed. I don't mind it at all. The other big disadvantage is I can't run my air conditioning on a 2,000 watt generator. And that was part of the reason I went in to see what it would cost to get the onboard fixed, because it would be nice with things heating up. It would be nice to be able to run my air conditioning while I'm boondocking. But that's not an option with the generator I have right now. But I've been using it for years, 3 years, and I've not had any. I had one problem with it in Oregon a couple years ago. It had water in the gas tank. I couldn't get it to start. Took it to a small engine repair. had it overnight. It cost like 40, 30, not even a lot. I don't know, 30 bucks, 20 bucks to fix it. So that's another benefit to having a portable generator. I can just pick it up and drop it off. You know, I don't have to turn my entire RV over to somebody for who knows how long to get it fixed. So, you know, in the end, I think there's a lot of benefits to having the portable generator over the built-in. The biggest draw is just convenience, not being able to turn it on and off from inside and not being able to run the air conditioner. But I'm really happy with my Energizer 2000 watt generator. I want to say thank you to Waggle Pet Monitor for sponsoring this video. And don't go away, because I'm going to give you an opportunity to win a free Waggle and also give you a discount. So in case you don't know, the Waggle Pet Monitor is an awesome device to help you have peace of mind and keep your pet safe, whether you live in your vehicle or just take your loved BFF with you wherever you go. The Waggle Pet Monitor is this little device that you put in your RV, and when you sign up for and subscribe to the app that goes with it, it communicates with that app and it tells you in real time what the temperature is, what the humidity is. It can even tell you if you have a power outage or if the power goes back on in your RV. So it's a really handy device. You set it up once you register for the app and you pay your monthly fee. You set it up so that it alert you if the temperature reaches a certain high or low by text or by email. But you can also just log into the app on your phone at any time and look to see what the temperature is and what the humidity is in real time in your RV. So it's a great device for any pet owner who loves to do things and travel and maybe lives in an RV or a van with their pet. Not only does it keep your pet safe in the heat, but it also keeps your pet safe in the cold. Cold temperatures are just as bad for your pet as hot temperatures. And if you guys act now, Waggle is going to give you guys 50% off on this device through Tuesday, January 4th. All you need to do is visit mywaggle.com through the link in the video description. Enter Sadie50 at checkout and you'll get 50% off on your Waggle device. The other thing they're doing so that one lucky winner can start the new year off right is they're going to give away one Waggle as a prize to one lucky viewer. So there's a separate link in the video description below. It'll say Waggle giveaway. Click on that link, enter your information before midnight, January 1st, 2022, and they will pick one winner at random that I'm going to announce in my video Sunday night, January 2nd, okay? So that brings me to the next question. I had made comments. My awning is broken too, by the way, and it tore and shredded it a couple years ago or last year, and I'm not getting that fixed either. And what I have been saying about some of these things is I'm not investing the money because I don't know how long I'm going to be living in my RV. And so what does that mean? Am I like leaving within a year? Am I leaving within 6 months? Am I looking for land? Yes, I have been passively looking for land, but honestly, I don't think I'm going to be getting out of my RV anytime soon. I think it's going to be a couple more years. I'm feeling ready, to be honest with you. June will be 6 years. I'm kind of feeling ready. I want my own space now. I've been camping and traveling on public lands for a long time now, and this year, you know, I've done a lot of traveling. I'm kind of ready to have a space of my own. I don't think that means I would stop traveling completely. I think it means I would just have a base. So maybe spend the winter at a home base, or maybe the summer at a home base, and travel the rest of the year. But I'm ready to have a place to call my own. I don't think a lot of people realize the toll it takes on you to be kind of at the whim of society, you know, to kind of be at the whim of other people. And maybe that's also because camping has become more popular, boondocking has become more popular, living in an RV or a van has become more popular. The pandemic happened, so people were camping instead of going on their normal vacations. So things have gotten a lot more crowded the last couple of years. A lot more people seem to be outside, so it's a lot harder to find the total peace and solitude that I personally need. Not everybody would need the amount of solitude and peace that I have. I know people who've been living on the road for years, and they don't seem to mind that aspect of it. I'm kind of surprised at how much it affects me, to be honest with you, but it's a definite shift in my whole being. I actually shot a video, you guys will see it soon, about a place in Arkansas. Beautiful, wonderful boondocking spot. Actually, there were two. I got there, I didn't see anybody for 24 hours, and it was like this, just peace. And the first time a car drove by, and I say this on video, it's like the spell had been broken, like some kind of spell. All of a sudden, maybe there's like something to being invisible that's comfortable for me. Maybe that is it, because when I first moved to San Francisco when I was 21, that was one of the things I liked about it. It was the biggest city I'd ever lived in, and I could go out. Nobody knew who I was. They didn't care who I was. They didn't care what I looked like or how I dressed, and there was something about the cloak of invisibility that really makes me comfortable. And living the lifestyle that I am living, it's harder and harder to be invisible. So not that it's bad, not that I'm completely uncomfortable and on edge, it's just that it's different. How many of you can relate to this, especially if you're boondocking? I bet a lot of women, raise your hand, show me, say, do hashtag invisible if you understand what I'm talking about, that there's something about the comfort of being invisible. And again, I don't know, maybe that goes back to my childhood. I was the kid who tried to fly under the radar. I didn't act out. I tried to be the good kid. I tried to get the good grades, not make waves. I tried to make sure everything and everybody was okay. So I think there might be something to that. And that's how I survived in this world, at least for a little while. And then I went through this whole phase where I didn't want to be invisible. That's a whole other story. And actually, it's a really good story. You know, when I got a divorce and I lost weight and I didn't want to be invisible anymore, and what that attracted. So I decided to be invisible again. Yeah, there's a lot to that right there. But yeah, that whole thing, though, about not ever having any space of my own, even when I pay for a campsite, people just walk through my campsite. I was on a live stream the other day. I am on a lake that's got hundreds of miles of lake shore. Somebody came along, even in this campground that I'm in, there's like 6 campsites. I was the only campsite that was occupied. Somebody came in to enjoy the lake for a couple hours, and they walked right through my campsite and hung out 30 feet outside my door. So they have every right to do that. It's public place. They have every right to do that. I mean, I can't go out there and say, hey, that's mine. It's not. And that's what I'm starting to get tired of. I'm starting to never have the right to anything of my own. And so, yeah, I do kind of feel like I'm done with that. Although now that I'm not traveling as much, I've been in Arkansas 6 weeks now, maybe longer. I'm finding places where I stay for a week, I stay for 2 weeks. So I'm definitely feeling better and more settled than I was when I was traveling every day or every 2 days or every 3 days. But there still is a part of me that wants just my own space. And maybe it's also just part that society has changed so much over the last few years that there just doesn't seem to be, there seems to be a lack of personal space and boundaries. Sure, they have a right to this land. They have a right to go to the beach right in front of my camp, even though there's, you know, beach all around me. Sure, they have a right to that, but would you? You know, knowing that someone else is camped there, would you? And the answer to that question seems to be more and more, yeah, I would, because screw them. I can, so I will. Yeah, so I think a lot has changed in the almost 6 years that I've been on the road. And I think I'm feeling that as mostly an introvert and someone who maybe has empathetic tendencies. I don't think I'm an empath. I don't think I'm that intuitive. I'm intuitive, but I don't think I'm that intuitive as a real true empath is. But I might have that a little bit, and so I feel that. I feel if there's a sense of entitlement around me, I feel it. And it puts me on edge a little bit. So yeah. Am I looking? Absolutely. I've been passively looking for more than a year now. But am I going to be am I going to be leaving my RV life anytime soon? I think the answer to that is no. And there's a couple reasons for that. Number one is prices have skyrocketed. I was looking a year ago and I was seeing options within my price range for 20 acres. Maybe. Yeah, 20 acres, 30 acres within my price range. You know what I'm seeing now within my price range? Half an acre. Literally. Same places, same states. I'm looking at Arkansas and Montana and Idaho. I mean, I'm looking everywhere because I want something rural and vacant. And that's literally what I'm seeing. It's rare that I can even find 5 acres now anywhere in my price range. As opposed to last year, I could see 20, 30 acres in my price range. So what has happened with everybody with the virus and everything the last year, people are wanting to escape, and so they're buying remote property, they're doing the homesteading thing, they're doing the tiny house thing, and so prices have shot up out of my price range. And so that means I need to save more. I'm not buying at the height of the market. I don't want to buy at the height of the market. Things will settle down in a year or two. And so I'm just going to have to be patient and bide my time. And while I wait, I can save more money. So that's the other thing. Am I going to put $1,000 into my awning? Am I going to put $4,000 into my generator, or would I rather put that into my land fund? And that's kind of what the choices that I'm making right now are like, put it into my RV, which maybe 2 more years, maybe 3 more years, I don't know, or put it in my land fund. The more I have in my land fund, the bigger piece of property I can get. And I really want, at first I wanted 100 acres. I was like, I want 100 acres. And then it went down to 20, and now I'd be happy to get 5, you know? Of course, 5 acres in the desert is very different from 5 acres in upstate New York or Michigan or Arkansas. You know why? You guys know what the biggest difference is between 5 acres in the desert and 5 acres here? Trees. You know, if you're 5 acres in the desert, man, you can see for a mile in every direction. And so you just feel much more exposed in the desert. So, yeah, so I am still passively looking. I will continue to passively look. And if the right piece of property comes along, I'll snag it and figure out what's next from there. But I will put a tiny home on it, either build it or get something that's prefab. It just kind of depends on where I end up. But rest assured, I probably, no matter what, will still continue to make videos, especially if I do what I dream of doing and, you know, my own little miniature vegan homestead, you know, and building my own. I can't, at least right now, I can't see a time in my future, unless I get a book deal, where I'm not making videos. So no matter what I do, I feel like I've gotten to know so many of you, and it would be a joy and a pleasure and an honor to be able to bring you with me on whatever is next for me. So I see myself doing that for sure, as long as it's something interesting, which, I don't know. There are days, though, where I'm like, I'm done. I just want to go. I just want my own place, you know. But I'm not there yet, and I'm hoping that it's just kind of a phase. The second reason I am not buying right now is, and I've said this in other videos, is because I'm feeling a deep sense of uncertainty about the future of our country. And I'm reticent to put my life savings in a piece of property that could get snatched away from me for whatever reason, or that I would have to flee for safety. One of the things I think about is environmental concerns. Water is going to be a scarce resource pretty soon. And what is that going to mean for different parts of the country? What if we do go into, what did she call it? Divorce, collective divorce or something, you know, that civil war. What if that does happen? Where would I be safe? There's just too many questions. And I am still considering living internationally. South America. I've been looking at Mexico, Central America, and South America. Have been kind of like on my radar for a while now. I belong to a couple groups about Americans who live in those countries. I've been paying attention to their experiences, the cost of living, the challenges that they face. On the live stream on Christmas Day, we talked about Portugal. A couple people say that there's channels. There are people who live in Portugal. A picture from my trip to Greece 7 years ago, I think it was 7 years ago, came up. I loved the Peloponnese, very mountainous, very pretty, not very populated. I'm like, maybe I'll move to Greece. So I have a lot on my mind. That's the thing. I'm not ready. That's how I feel. I'm not ready. As much as I feel like, okay, I want to go, I'm ready to not live in an RV, I'm ready to have my own space, the fact that I can't make a decision about where and what and how tells me that I'm not ready. That maybe I really am not, the travel bug isn't out of me yet, or, this lifestyle isn't out of me yet. There are too many unknowns. There are too many things I still have to figure out about where I want to be. Do I really want to live in another country? That's a lot. I like to think that, yeah, sure, why not? But I'm not really sure. So that's it. That's where I'm at. I do not see me getting out of this life in the next year. I'm going to be doing it at least another year, probably closer to 2. I'm also kind of waiting for the midterm elections to see kind of what happens there as well, and see which direction this country is heading before I make any big choices. So yeah, that's it. That's my kind of little shoot the bull session with you today, answering some questions for the people who maybe don't watch every single video and might be wondering kind of where my head is at. I know a lot of nomads have been buying property, and I'm feeling like a little disappointed in myself. I thought I would be doing this forever. So I'm kind of surprised that I'm feeling this way, that I'm kind of feeling traveled out. I'm like, you know what, been there, done that. Okay, I don't need to see another waterfall. Okay, I don't need to see another lake. Okay, I don't need to see another forest, You know what? I'm also feeling lonely. I've touched on that a little bit over the last year. I'm feeling more lonely than I don't usually get lonely. And I don't know if it's just time that I've been on the road so long. And I said last year, maybe it was this time last year, I said I was going to make more of an effort to meet people this year. And I have. I've done more meetups. I've met more people. So that's another possibility. I thought about putting together a community, maybe buying land together, buying property together, creating an intentional community together. So there's a lot up in the air. There's a lot that I'm thinking about. And for those of you who ask me if I ever get lonely, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I would have said no. I am getting more lonely these days. So I don't know what that's about really, but I don't know. Yeah. All right. That's where I'm at. I hope you enjoyed this. I know a lot of people just enjoy the kind of like sit and, BS and find out what's going on. So, and for the rest of you, I hope that gave you food for thought. If you're thinking about RV life, if you're already in RV life and you're kind of wondering what the reality of it might be for you, or what the reality of it is right now for you, and, you're just like, yeah, I can relate to that. So that's where I'm at. Stay tuned. There's a lot more to come. I'm going to be showing you around Arkansas, which has been such a pleasant and beautiful surprise. So in addition to showing you some great camps in Arkansas, we got the roof repairs coming up. So that's a whole ordeal. Yeah, there's a lot coming up. So stay tuned. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I will see you next time from the road. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. Mwah. Thank you. What do you think about Waggle? What do you think about Waggle? You like Waggle? The Waggle? You want to get a Waggle? Where's the pet monitor? Where is it?